Gary Oldman, the man of unforgettable roles and an unmistakable, captivating presence. He is a symbol of transformation on screen, from a cold-blooded criminal to a genius composer. But off-screen, Gary Oldman has also had a love life full of twists and turns, just as gripping as his blockbuster films. From headline-making marriages and passionate love affairs to heartbreaking breakups, Gary's romantic journey isn't just a series of relationships. It's the story of a man who is passionate, intense, and complicated. Have you ever wondered what caused this actor to go through 5 marriages? And has he finally found his true love? Before we dive into the colorful and dramatic love life of Gary Oldman, don't forget to hit like, subscribe, and turn on the notification bell to stay updated on all the fascinating stories from our channel. Now, let's explore the roller coaster ride of love, twists, and surprises that is Gary Oldman's journey, one of Hollywood's most alluring stars. 1. Lesley Manville and Uma Thurman love can sometimes begin with quiet moments, but it doesn't always end the way we expect. The marriage between Gary Oldman and Lesley Manville is a prime example of that. Gary Oldman and Lesley Manville were once one of the most admired couples in the British art scene. They married in 1987 in an intimate ceremony filled with love and hope. From the early years of their marriage, they were often described by friends and colleagues as the perfect couple. Oldman, an exceptional and charismatic talent, seemed to have found stability in love with Manville, an intelligent and profound woman who always supported him. Their love grew even stronger with the birth of their first son, Alfie, in 1988. At that time, they both felt like they were living in a beautiful dream about family, where love, career, and children blended into one perfect whole. However, even relationships that seem unshakable can be tested. During the filming of State of Grace, Oldman met Uma Thurman, a young, vibrant actress who was just 18 years old. The age difference didn't hold them back. Thurman, with her pure yet mysterious beauty, quickly captivated Oldman, who was already known for his romantic entanglements. Initially, their relationship was limited to brief conversations on set. But the more they worked together, the more Oldman found himself drawn to Thurman's newness and strong personality. Her boldness and passion made it impossible for him, a married man at the time, to resist. Oldman's infatuation with Thurman grew so strong that he decided to leave Manville just 3 months after their son was born. This decision left Manville devastated. For a woman who had placed all her trust in love and family, this shock felt like it shattered her heart. The dreams of a happy family with Oldman and Alfie seemed to vanish in an instant. Manville later shared that she went through months of loneliness and pain so deep it felt like I couldn't breathe. However, rather than cling to a relationship that had become irreparable, she bravely let go to protect her self-respect and find peace for Alfie. Life after the breakup was not easy for Manville. As a single mother, she had to shoulder the responsibilities of both motherhood and healing from emotional pain. Sleepless nights and silent tears while watching Alfie grow up without a regular presence of his father became part of her life. Despite it all, Manville remained gracious, refusing to let personal pain affect the way she treated Oldman. They maintained a friendship, co-parenting Alfie so that he wouldn't suffer psychological harm from the separation of his parents. As for Oldman and Thurman, the early days of their relationship were filled with passion and happiness. They married in 1990 and frequently appeared together at major events, embodying the image of an alluring artist couple. But that initial happiness didn't last long. Just 2 years later, they divorced, with Thurman admitting that her marriage to Oldman was a mistake. She described him as a rare talent, but implied that there was a lack of harmony in their everyday life. Oldman, though he didn't hide his feelings for Thurman, also admitted that their relationship didn't mean much to either of them. The public, who had closely followed this love triangle, reacted with mixed opinions. Some believed that Oldman was a genius artist, but an unreliable man in love. They criticized his irresponsibility for abandoning his wife and newborn son to chase a new love. However, other fans sympathized, thinking Oldman was just a man caught up in a fleeting passion, and that he had to pay the price for not finding lasting happiness with Thurman. In contrast, Lesley Manville received strong public support for her grace and the way she moved on from her pain, continuing to live and contribute. In the end, the love triangle between Oldman, Manville, and Thurman was not just a personal tragedy, but a lesson in the complexities of love and marriage. It proves that even the most talented and charismatic people can make mistakes in their relationships. But above all, this story honors the strength and forgiveness of Lesley Manville, who chose to let go and find herself while still maintaining balance and love for her son Alfie. 2. Isabella Rosolini. After every heartbreak, Oldman seemed to keep searching for a place to belong, someone who could understand him. Isabella Rosolini appeared like a romantic light in his life, but his struggle with alcoholism became an insurmountable barrier. The relationship between Gary Oldman and Isabella Rosolini was a chapter filled with romance, but also deep tragedy in the string of high-profile relationships of this famous actor. The two met in 1994 on the set of Immortal Beloved, an emotionally charged film where Oldman portrayed the genius composer Beethoven, and Rosolini played one of the women rumored to be his immortal lover. In the ancient city of Prague, with Beethoven's music filling the air and the film weaving through themes of sorrow and passion, a romance blossomed between Oldman and Rosolini. What started as fiction soon turned into real-life romance. With Oldman's irresistible charm, both a talented and captivating actor, and Rosolini's elegance and poise, they became a perfect couple in the eyes of many. Their love story, which began on screen, quickly spilled over into real life, to the point where Oldman proposed to Rosolini shortly after filming Wrapped. They became engaged, and for both of them, it seemed like true happiness had finally arrived. However, what followed wasn't a fairy tale ending. A painful truth began to surface. Gary Oldman was struggling with alcoholism. During their engagement, Oldman checked into rehab, putting an immense strain on their relationship. Rosolini, an intelligent and strong woman, tried her best to support her fiancé, but these efforts couldn't save a relationship already under pressure from internal issues. They called off their engagement in 1996, ending a relationship with great potential, but ultimately short-lived. Rosolini later shared that Oldman was a chameleon, someone who could transform brilliantly on screen, but couldn't control himself in real life. She admitted that her time with Oldman was the best year of her life, but his addiction prevented any chance for them to build a lasting future. With her experience, Rosolini chose to walk away, protecting her own mental and emotional well-being. The story between Oldman and Rosolini wasn't just a romantic relationship tainted by addiction. It also reflects the painful tragedies in Gary Oldman's love life. Fans couldn't help but feel regret when a couple that seemed so in sync, both artistically and personally, couldn't overcome the challenges. Some criticized Oldman for his instability and the scandals surrounding him, while others sympathized, seeing this as just a dark chapter in his journey toward redemption. Dona Fiorentino. Oldman's subsequent marriages seemed trapped in a never-ending cycle of challenges. Dona Fiorentino brought a completely different chapter to his life, though not in a positive way. The marriage between Gary Oldman and Dona Fiorentino, which lasted from 1997 to 2001, stands as one of the darkest periods in the personal life of this talented actor. They first met at a Hollywood Alcoholics Anonymous meeting in 1996 and quickly found themselves drawn to each other. Fiorentino, then a successful model and photographer, saw in Oldman someone who understood her personal struggles. Oldman, after his tumultuous relationships, seemed ready for a fresh start. Just 4 months later, they were married, with Fiorentino pregnant with their first son, Gulliver. At first glance, this marriage seemed to hold the promise of stability both had longed for. They welcomed 2 sons, Gulliver in 1997 and Charlie in 1999. But behind the facade of a happy family was a more complicated, unstable reality. From the early days, their marriage was overshadowed by addiction and unresolved personal issues. Fiorentino, suffering from chronic arthritis during her second pregnancy, had to rely on painkillers, which led to an addiction to alcohol and cocaine. Oldman, though claiming to have conquered his addiction, wasn't entirely free from the shadows of substance abuse and emotional instability. Things took a turn for the worse when Fiorentino accused Oldman of physical and emotional abuse. She claimed that Oldman had beaten and choked her in front of their children, even using the phone to hit her when she attempted to call 911. Fiorentino also alleged that Oldman financially abused her, controlling everything to the point that she couldn't stand on her own. These accusations shocked the public and led to a lengthy, bitter custody battle. Oldman, on the other hand, denied all allegations, describing Fiorentino as mentally unstable and deeply entrenched in her own addiction. He claimed that her accusations were part of a strategy to gain custody of their sons, Gulliver and Charlie. In the ensuing legal battle, the court sided with Oldman, granting him full custody of the children. This decision sparked controversy, with many questioning whether Oldman's fame and influence had played a role in the ruling. But the battle didn't end there. In 2018, after Oldman won the Oscar for Best Actor for his portrayal of Winston Churchill in Darkest Hour, Fiorentino spoke out again. She claimed Oldman didn't deserve the honor, calling him an abuser, and questioning the progress of the #MeToo movement in exposing the abuses of powerful individuals. "Congratulations, Gary," Fiorentino bitterly said, and congratulations to the Academy for awarding the Oscar to not one, but two abusers. Her accusations pointed to a painful truth in Hollywood: the silence and protection of influential figures, regardless of the serious allegations against them. In response to these accusations, Oldman's older son Gulliver spoke out in defense of his father, denying his mother's claims. Gulliver insisted that Oldman was a wonderful father who always put his children first. Meanwhile, Charlie, their younger son, chose to remain silent, not making any statements. The story between Oldman and Fiorentino became a stark reminder of the complexities of domestic violence, especially when it occurs among celebrities. Public opinion became sharply divided. Some sided with Fiorentino, believing Oldman had used his fame and power to silence his victim. Others defended Oldman, claiming Fiorentino was merely seeking attention and trying to damage her ex-husband's reputation. Jane Middelmiss. After everything with Fiorentino came to an end, Oldman continued his journey, seeking peace in love. A brief, quiet time with Jane Middelmiss, though discreet, became a stepping stone leading him to future romantic decisions. The relationship between Gary Oldman and Jane Middelmiss in 2001 was one of the shortest yet most intriguing chapters in the colorful love life of this actor. At the time, Jane Middelmiss was a well-known television presenter in the UK and a former model, possessing captivating beauty and grace on screen. Meanwhile, Gary Oldman, with his reputation as a talented and charismatic Hollywood actor, was always the center of attention at any event he attended. However, unlike Oldman's previous relationships, this romance took place in secrecy, with almost no public information released. The two were never seen together in public, and their relationship was only mentioned through rumors. Perhaps, after the turmoil in his past relationships, both Oldman and Middelmiss chose to keep things private and stay away from the spotlight. Still, this romance seemed to lack the solid foundation needed to last. After a short period, they parted ways, leaving no significant trace. For Oldman, this was a time when his personal life was still in turmoil after the highly publicized divorce from Dona Fiorentino. Perhaps the unresolved pain from his past made it difficult for him to build a lasting relationship. As for Jane Middelmiss, she never commented on her relationship with Oldman, maintaining complete silence. With a successful career and an independent personality, Middelmiss likely saw this as a fleeting experience rather than a love story worth remembering. Alexandra Edenborough. The tumultuous marriage with Fiorentino once again tested Oldman, both mentally and in terms of responsibility. When everything fell apart, he sought a fresh start, this time with Alexandra Edenborough. The marriage between Gary Oldman and Alexandra Edenborough was a quiet yet meaningful chapter in the actor's emotionally turbulent love life. They married on New Year's Eve in 2008 in Santa Barbara, California, surrounded by a sense of hope for a new beginning. Alexandra Edenborough, a young and talented British singer-songwriter, seemed to bring a new energy to Oldman, who had already endured 3 failed marriages. Despite their 20-year age gap, this difference didn't seem to pose an obstacle. In fact, it created an interesting balance between experience and freshness in their relationship. In the early years, their marriage was described as relatively peaceful. Oldman, in his middle age, appeared ready for a stable life, far from the emotional turmoil he had experienced before. Edenborough, with her gentle personality and passion for art, brought a new sense of joy into Oldman's personal life, helping him rediscover happiness in relationships. They lived quietly, avoiding the spotlight, and chose not to have children together, which made their marriage less scrutinized by the public. However, despite the initial calm, the age difference and differing lifestyles gradually became obstacles they couldn't overcome, even though these were factors they had found intriguing when they decided to marry. In a 2014 interview, Oldman admitted that he had hoped his marriage to Edenborough would be his last, but also confessed that he wasn't proud to say it. Perhaps his honesty revealed the underlying tensions in their relationship. By January 2015, Edenborough filed for divorce, citing irreconcilable differences. The divorce process was quiet and quickly finalized on October 1, 2015. As part of the settlement, Oldman agreed to pay Edenborough $3.3 million over 4 years, while retaining 2 homes and some vehicles. Unlike Oldman's previous, more dramatic breakups, this one was relatively smooth. Edenborough didn't publicly comment on the marriage or divorce, maintaining a quiet and respectful stance. Oldman, for his part, didn't place blame, but acknowledged that the age difference and differing expectations had made the relationship unsustainable. Perhaps, after previous heartbreaks, Oldman had learned to face the end of a relationship with more maturity and calm. 6. Gizelle Schmidt. Quieter and more serene than before, Alexandra Edenborough brought Oldman a temporary sense of balance. Yet, deep differences eventually pulled them apart, leading him to find true love with Gizelle Schmidt. The marriage between Gary Oldman and Gizelle Schmidt marked a special moment in the actor's tumultuous romantic history. After 4 failed marriages, each leaving its own pain, controversy, and scandal, Oldman entered his 5th marriage with a more mature mindset, a deeper sense of stability, and a yearning for peace like never before. For the first time, the public witnessed a Gary Oldman not just seeking love, but cherishing it, understanding the true value of companionship and mutual sharing. Gary Oldman and Gizelle Schmidt met through their shared passion for art, particularly photography. Schmidt, a young and talented British singer-songwriter, was a professional photographer with a keen eye and sensitivity towards life. Oldman, though an accomplished actor, also had a deep passion for visual art. The intersection of their artistic souls created a profound bond from the very beginning. Some sources suggest that they may have met through work or at art events. Schmidt even worked as Oldman's assistant during the filming of Darkest Hour, the film that catapulted Oldman to the peak of his career, earning him the Oscar for Best Actor. Amid the art and work, their love began to grow. This gave their relationship a different foundation. It wasn't born from fleeting passions or surface-level attraction, but from shared values and mutual passion. One of the most memorable moments in their relationship was Oldman's proposal. Interestingly, he proposed while wearing his Winston Churchill costume on the Darkest Hour set. Not only was this a romantic moment, but it was also humorous and full of meaning. Schmidt often humorously recounts this story. "I went to bed with Winston Churchill, but woke up with Gary Oldman." That image not only reflects the playful nature of their relationship, but also shows the empathy and joy they shared. They married in August 2017 in a private ceremony at Oldman's manager's house in Beverly Hills. The event was simple and understated, completely different from the lavish weddings Oldman had had in the past. This reflected a shift in Oldman's view on love and marriage, quieter yet deeper. The marriage to Gizelle Schmidt was distinctly different from his previous ones. First, this was not a relationship fueled by intense passion or fleeting emotions, but by companionship and shared experience. Schmidt was not only a wife, but a true partner, an intellectual companion in Oldman's artistic journey. Secondly, this was the relationship in which Oldman seemed to find true peace. In a 2018 interview, Oldman admitted that at 59, he had found true love, calling Schmidt an amazing woman. He also emphasized that this relationship made him feel like he was coming home, a feeling he had never found in past relationships. Unlike his previous marriages, full of disputes, accusations, and tension, this relationship seemed far more serene. Schmidt supported Oldman not only in his personal life, but also in his career. She was often by his side at major events, including the Oscar ceremony, where Oldman won the coveted golden statue. Schmidt was also described as a brave soldier for her unwavering support during Oldman's research and transformation into Churchill. The Gary Oldman of earlier years was a complex, captivating man, but also one filled with instability. His previous relationships often ended in heartbreak, controversies, and pain, from betrayal, addiction, to allegations of domestic violence. But in this marriage, Oldman seemed to have changed. He was no longer the hot-tempered, impulsive man, easily swept up in negative emotions. Instead, he had learned to value these simpler aspects of marriage: understanding, respect, and companionship. Schmidt, with her calm demeanor and supportive nature, became the perfect partner for Oldman at this stage of his life. Not just as his wife, but as a true companion, helping him balance work and personal life. Unlike his past marriages, this one received positive support from the public. Many were happy to see Oldman finally finding peace after years of turmoil. Schmidt, although private and rarely in the spotlight, was adored by fans for her quiet but meaningful support and partnership with her husband. However, some people still couldn't forget Oldman's past scandals, questioning whether this marriage would truly last. But with what they had shown, mutual respect, and the way they built their relationship on solid foundations, this marriage seemed to be the happiest and most mature chapter in Gary Oldman's love life. The marriage between Gary Oldman and Gizelle Schmidt wasn't just a love story. It was a symbol of maturity and change. After past mistakes and failures, Oldman had finally found a true life partner. Not just someone to love, but someone to walk beside him in the years ahead. With Schmidt, Oldman had come home, finding a peace he had likely been searching for his entire life. And that's what makes this marriage stand apart from all the rest. With 5 marriages, countless romance rumors, and love stories that are both romantic and tragic, Gary Oldman has proven that love is not just a simple tale. Behind the glitz and glamour of Hollywood, his love life is a journey full of lessons about growth, sacrifice, and the efforts to find true happiness. Currently, Gary Oldman is enjoying a peaceful married life with his partner, Gizelle Schmidt, whom he considers his home after years of uncertainty. Let's wish him and Gizelle Schmidt the very best, a couple who has truly found happiness together. We hope they continue to build a life filled with love and success. What do you think is the most memorable love story in Gary Oldman's colorful journey? Share your thoughts in the comments below. And don't forget to hit like, subscribe, and turn on notifications so you won't miss the exciting videos coming soon. Thank you for joining us. Goodbye, and see you in the next video.